We're now being joined by the governor of Imo State, Senator Hope Uzodimma. You are the chairman of this occasion. What a long event it has been. So far, so good. Are you satisfied with all that has happened from yesterday, even up till this time?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Very tiring process, and so far we've done very well. Voting is still ongoing. Any moment from now, we'll start collection and counting, and the result will be known, and a winner will emerge.
You seem disappointed. Are you disappointed?
As what? I would like
in terms of the way some of the things turned out?
No. Of course, in every project, you have the human imperfections, but I can assess the success level of this project up to 98%.
98?
Yes, we've done very well.
Is it in terms of the organization, or in terms of your projections?
In terms of the organization.
Okay.
You will agree with me that the exercise has been so orderly, relatively calm, and unlike when you used to have total market here and there, and security, people being pushed down and that. We've organized this place in a manner that you can see how effortlessly people are going to vote and coming out, and nothing has happened as to suggest that our preparation has not been done very well.
What was the hitch that went on with the delegates list? There was a hitch and it delayed processes that turned out.
Yeah, one of the states, yes, there were some discrepancies, and we have to halt the process until the accreditation committee came to identify the exact list, and it was sorted out, and we continued.
Well, why did some? Is it true that they said there are some party members and the governor was involved in trying to alter some list or something to favor a particular candidate?
No, it's not to my knowledge. I don't think so.
Not at all?
No, it's not to my knowledge. No governor can do that. All the governors that stayed here throughout the night had one function, one role or the other to play. I don't think any governor will want to go and alter a list.
Because yesterday, Nasarawa State Governor told us that when they got that information, Ogun State Governor had to rush down to the venue to ensure that things were right, and then they corrected the process, and that delayed it. He told us yesterday.
No, the accreditation venue.
Yeah.
No, Ogun State Governor worked so hard in manning that accreditation committee and deployed the technology that automated the process, and there was at no time did he report of anybody trying to change a list.
Interesting. Well, I mean, how long did you project that this was going to go on for? You are the chairman of this. You look like you haven't slept. I know that Afrin Chimele was talking about how people projected that this was going to end by 2 a.m. at the most. You had 2,332 delegates. It's not less than 2,300, beg your pardon. So there have been questions as to whether you said that voting was still going to be going on by this time.
Yeah, you know, apart from voting, we did other activities of the party. We had this entertainment, musicians coming to play, aspirants who were given 2 minutes to speak. Some of them spoke for 30 minutes, and we couldn't stop them. So the thing now dragged the program beyond our planned timelines.
I mean, I was watching that, and I don't know, how did you feel when they were trying to get the aspirants to stick to the time, and some of them just blatantly refused? Do you think that was right?
Well, of course, I allowed the delegates to assess the kind of aspirants they have and whether they deserve their votes or not. However, we did our best in making sure we couldn't stop some of them because some other ones already also did the same thing.
Indeed.
And we didn't stop them. So we allowed the thing to play out on its own, just for peace.
Dr. Bonayon, when he made his speech, he left at Umagba highlighted with a question, where is the justice? he talked about the big question for the Southeast region, who he feels, that region feels hard done by with what has played out or what is playing out now. What do you think about it?
Well, we all listened to him. He made a very brilliant speech. We take them home. Sometimes in this business of politics, expectations may not be what you think. You know, things you expect may not be what you get. But it's also left for you to continue to try and do your best as a human being and leave the rest for God.
Where do you think it went wrong for the region in terms of their quests to get the ticket?
Well, you see, the issue of zoning has been at the public domain. It's a national discourse, really. The issue of zoning, that power has come to the south, went to southwest, and the next time it came to the south, it went to south-south. And if zoning and equity is anything to go by, that naturally this time around it should go to southeast. But you see, sometimes this business of power, you don't just rely on moral criteria and saying justice. You know, some other things are involved because no one zone can produce a president in Nigeria. You must take the collaboration and cooperation of other zones. The southern Nigeria alone cannot produce a president without northern Nigeria.
Yeah, but people have said that they haven't played their part, that they seem to even put their personal interests way beyond any such thing as their regional interests.
What people say most times may not be what will give you power. What gives you power? If you decide to get power, you work for it. Nowhere in the world power is given to anybody just as a lunch or a breakfast. We know we deserve to produce a president in Nigeria. We know we have capable, competent hands that can rule Nigeria from south.
But do the Southeast leaders work for it?
Well, you see, it is a relative thing.
Oh.
I may feel I have worked, but maybe I have not worked enough.
Do you think you worked?
I've worked. But no matter what you do as a human being, until God says it's your time, that's the only time you have the power. So we will struggle as human beings. We'll do within the capacity of what a human being can do. But I can tell you, it is God. I believe in faith. I'm a child of faith. I believe that it is only when God has decided to give you power.
How do you know when He's decided?
Just like in 2003, I had a gubernatorial outing. I didn't win. In 2007, I tried, I didn't get it. In 2019 was the time God said, "Hey, my son, come and be
Was that God?
Yes.
You know, sir, I'm just a little curious. It's like from the answers that you're given, it does look like you do not have any faith that the Southeastern candidates can make it through at this primaries.
No, that is not correct. After all, in any event, we have faith. But faith are things you don't see yet you believe.
Mm-hmm. So you
understand?
Indeed, indeed, there are things you don't see yet you believe. Do you believe
Yes,
that a Southeastern candidate can still pull through in this primaries? Given that what we have seen go down on the ground, I mean, go down on the grounds here, and what the papers are saying. Just this morning, I was asking how one of the dailies, reached its conclusion that the national leader looked set to be clinching this. They're already making their predictions. It doesn't look like the Southeast is in contention here, or any Southeastern candidate is.
Now, I think that from the point of view of political calculation, the sentiments of people of Southeast is that really they deserve to produce a president. Because the reason why this power is moving from the north to the south is because the north, the current president is from the north, having served 8 years. Now the popular view is that somebody from the southern part of the country should be a president. And the reason why Southeast also is asking for it It's because he came to the south and went to southwest and was there for 8 years. And the next time he came to the south, he went to south-south. And it was there for almost barely 7 years plus. Now, the natural thing to do and the justice of the case is that now that he's coming again to the south, and since it is only the 3 geopolitical zones that made up the south, that he should come to southeast. Having been in southwest and the south-south, he should now come to southeast. So in a situation where equity really should be the issue, we don't need to struggle for it. We don't need to struggle for it. But here again, you see how it has gone. We'll continue to hope that one day God will touch the heart of our brothers and sisters out there to do that which belongs to us.
So what does this mean now? Does it mean the region has to wait for what, 8 or 16 years?
That is the thing we have to. This is something that will be discussed at the party level, because it's a serious matter that needs to be addressed. Because we are dealing with human beings here. It is not just you wake up and take any decision. There are consequences of every action. So those are the things that will be discussed, and something must be done. And maybe bring in a balancing kind of act that will assuage the feelings of the people for the interest of our party. Most of our people here who came from the southeast, of course, when they saw it was going to be difficult to get clinching to the ticket, they opted for a northern candidate. The reason is very simple, because the northern candidate will stay for 8 years, and then the power will come back to the south. This time around, maybe we'll have the opportunity. The power coming back to the south will be another 8 years, and the next time you have the power, it will go to the north for another 8 years. So 16 clear years of wait for southeasterners. It's something that must be given some serious attention.
Big questions indeed. I'm just wondering, so what more should we be expecting now? Voting looks like it's getting set to conclude. I think the last they called was Zamfara.
Yeah.
I don't know whether this was being done in alphabetical order.
No,
but
it was not done in alphabetical.
It wasn't. Was there a reason for that?
No, I think because we had 2 voting points.
Oh, okay.
And then we divided the list. The second page was used for Part B, and the first page, Part A. So when they called Anambra and Adamawa, they called Kano and Katsina, and they were going in that.
I see. In that order to try and make things, to try and speed it up a bit.
Yes.
So what should we expect here? I mean, how much more longer do you think that we'll get to wait before we eventually see who has emerged?
As long as it will take to sort the votes, sorting of the votes, and then counting of the votes, and then announcing the results. I think we're almost there, We're almost there.
After the announcement of the person who has won, would that be it for the day, or would there still be a presentation? Because I do remember that for the APC party convention, there was a presentation of Senator Abdullahi Adamu to the president as the candidate. Will that also be happening on the ground today?
Yeah, well, as soon as the votes are counted and the result is known, we'll get in touch with the leadership of the party and know whether the national chairman will come back or the president will come back. If that is the case, we'll wait until they come, and then the candidate will be announced and the flag given to him, and that is it.
But does the party think that this is going to be a stroll in the park to 2023? Because this is about the first time that we'll have 7-8 months of political campaign before the election. So a lot could still happen.
Well, you see, the new Electoral Act came with new issues, new style of politics, and some of them very good, some of them not very friendly. One of those unfriendly ones is what you just said now, because it means that aspirants or candidates will have to campaign for almost 1 year before the election. And of course, it is going to take a big toll on the candidates, and it's not going to be very easy. The reason for that, for me, I cannot easily fathom. I'm told is to enable pre-election litigations be resolved and disagreements be resolved. But you can see how the thing is almost affecting governance. Because for the past 2 months, it's about primaries, congresses, one activity or the other. Most people are not even going to their offices to do the business of governance. And it is not very healthy for me. But we have to deal with that because we have to comply with the Electoral Act. We have to comply and obey the law. A society must be a rule-driven society. The National Assembly, in their wisdom, did the law, and Mr. President assented to the law.
I'm just curious. I mean, you have chosen a weekday to do this primaries. Did you also put that into consideration? Because, I mean, the race is right smack in the middle of the Federal Secretariat. There'll be questions as to, whether this would not affect workers who are supposed to be at work today. I mean, ought to have been at work yesterday, today, maybe tomorrow.
Well, I don't think there is any ministry inside this
Eagle Square, but they're right across.
Yeah.
They're right across.
And the streets have been cordoned off.
No, the traffic control only created diversions.
But it was very hectic. They spent man-hours in traffic.
Yeah, it is trying. Yeah, of course, we'll make sacrifices to get some of this thing done, occasioned by the INEC guidelines, which compelled all political parties to do this thing within this particular time frame.
Yeah, but why do Nigerians have to suffer for it, for the political parties? Because they could do it without making the traffic or motorists, bear the brunt of man-hours in traffic.
Members of the political party are also Nigerians.
There was a whole weekend. I mean, there was a PDP did theirs over a weekend, Saturday into Sunday. You did your party convention Saturday into Sunday. There was a clear weekend before this one. Why didn't you pick the weekend?
I don't like comparing my party with PDP. PDP is just a small opposition party.
I just gave, you were in the PDP.
Even though you came from there.
A few moments ago, you were just in the PDP. Yes. But I mean, I just gave the example of your own
party. There's a season for everything.
Yes, you did.
That was the time PDP. It was its season, and now it is APC.
You did your party convention, to speak to the party leadership over a weekend, Saturday into Sunday. I just cited your own party's example.
Yeah.
So why haven't you done the same for this presidential primaries? Why right smack in the week?
Well, this is our political party. We have the administrative system is like a ladder. There are levels of decision making. I'm just the chairman of the organizing committee. I knew you were just going to say
that. I don't know how I knew what your response was going to be. I could predict it already. But I know you're also a part of the decision makers.
Yeah, part of it.
So what was the thinking?
At a level that probably the level of decision making I belong is not the level this decision was taken. But we have to follow because loyalty to the party, the position is also very important in this business of politics. I think it's a ruling party.
For now,
at
the moment,
they have better flexibility.
What do you have for your colleague, Senator Lawan? Because I mean, he must have been going through different kinds of emotions the day before he was announced by national chairman, and then they said no. That didn't have the backing of the president, and then he came. He tried to reach out to the delegates. But at the end of the day, who knows what will happen? And he's not even going back to the Senate.
I just want to wait until in the next few minutes or few hours, the result of this outing will be known. Then we will be properly informed to make our statements.
What kind of statement do we expect?
Sorry?
What kind of statements should we expect?
Of course, we'll congratulate whoever that will emerge and also congratulate those that couldn't make it. And life continues.
I think that is very instructive. Life continues. I think supporters of politicians should remember that. And not kill themselves over certain things. No, politicians will not do that.
Yes, I try to employ all politicians to adopt the spirit of sportsmanship. That it is, of course, when you go into a context, two things will come out of it. Either you win or you will not. So you must also plan on how you can manage either way.
Let me just confirm, you were supporting Senator Ahmed Lawan, weren't you?
Ahmed Lawal is my colleague, is my friend.
Indeed. So I just want to clarify
Just like other aspirants.
I'm just clarifying that he was your own aspirant of choice.
No, it's not my aspirant of choice because it is not even a factor. What I mean is that he is my friend. And of course...
You are sympathetic to him?
Of course,
to his cause?
Of course, somehow, covertly, overtly, I must give him some kind of support and encouragement. In the same manner, I'll give to other aspirants who are also my friends, but not at the same degree.
So you give more to Senator Lawan?
To the closer ones.
All right, then, His Excellency Hope Uzodimma, Governor of Imo State, thank you very much indeed for your time this morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.